Hi, Joe Walker here with a somewhat advanced lesson on a monster lick that Jimmy Page used at the end of one of his live solos. It was at the end of the song Black Dog on the live album How the West Was Won. And this lick is, you could only call it advanced if you want to play it as fast as he did. He played it at some phenomenal speed that I've never been able to duplicate. But if you slow it down, it's actually not that complicated. It just uses the A minor pentatonic scale and a couple of bends and a whole lot of pull-offs. So if you've got those under your fingers, this would be a great one to tackle. So to start it off, I'll put the metronome at 120 and demonstrate how this is going to sound. Alright, now moving down to 92 so you can hear some of those notes a little better. And down to 60. Take a more microscopic view there. Now let's break that down and look at what exactly happened there. A huge flurry of notes coming out of Jimmy Page's little wizard fingers. Pretty much every note in there is straight out of the A minor pentatonic. So the A minor pentatonic starting at your 5th fret here is this scale. If you've done any rock playing, you've probably used that scale before. So that is basically what Page is using for the whole thing. There's only a couple notes that deviate out of that. So starting, the very beginning of the riff starts with ring finger bending up on the G string from the 7th fret. So you give it one of those. You go, those two notes are both on the 5th fret. So 7th bending up, fret 5 on the B string, fret 5 on the E string. So right after that we've got 8th fret on the B string, pulling off to 5. Then 8th fret on the E string, pulling off to 5. So putting all that together, we have now after that he goes into a little series of pull-offs on the top 2 strings, and this is where he deviates out of that minor pentatonic scale. So backing up from the beginning, it's going to sound like this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pull-offs in a row there. So we've got that pull-off from 8 to 5 on the 2nd string, pull-off from 8 to 5 on the 1st string, now pull-off from 7 to 5 on the 1st string, now pull-off 7 to 5 on the 2nd string, and 8 to 5 on the 2nd string. Alright, immediately following that we move to the 3rd string with another pull-off from 7 to 5. So putting all that together will be helpful because after this we're going to break it down into very digestible 4-note chunks. So everything so far goes now we're going to do 4-note chunks from here on out. So we're going to do on the 3rd string 7, 7, pull off to 5. And then 7th fret on the 4th string. Next we do, using those same 3 notes, we'll go to the 3rd string, 5, 7, pull off, and 7 on the 4th string. So putting those 2 4-note chunks together, we have, and there's 2 pull-offs in that little phrase right there. Pull off, pull off. Everything else is picked. Next 4-note chunk goes, let's see here, next one goes, so this uses 3 different strings, G string 5th fret, D string 7th fret, now pull off to the 5th fret, and D string 7th fret, or sorry, A string 7th fret there. So this 4-note chunk. And the next little chunk starts on the 5th fret of the D string, going like this. And that might sound very familiar. It's something we just did back up on the G and D string. So now we're starting on the D string, 5th fret, pick the 7th fret, pull off to the 5th fret, and then 7th fret of the A string. Next we've got a little repeating thing. This thing happens twice. You go back to 7th fret of the D string, pull off to 5, 7 on the A string, and back to 5 of the D string. So that those 4 notes are, and that happens twice in a row. Next thing you do is pull off from that 5th fret to 0 on the D string, and then hit 3rd fret of the A string, end it up, give it some shakes and soul and vibrato there, and that's the end of it. Then Page goes into his the old signature, the old Black Dog riff, and that's how they end the tune. So putting those last couple of chunks together, starting, let's see, right here. Alright, now as I go back through the whole thing again, very slowly, pay attention to my picking hand, because the picking, if you closely analyze your picking direction, that's what will get this whole thing flowing really nicely. You've got the initial hurdle of memorizing all these notes and getting your left hand clued in and getting those notes flowing, but once your right hand gets into it and that starts feeling comfortable, then the whole thing can come out very quickly. So the principle I'm using for this lick is called economy picking, which means as often as possible you're going to pick towards the next string that you're about to use. So with every string you have the option of going down or up, but if the next string you're going to use is towards the floor, you should be picking down on the current note. So for example, those first 3 notes start on the G, B, and E strings. So they go, and note number 4 is on the B string. So I'm going to go down towards the next one, down towards the next one, and then up towards the next one. So as I go through the whole thing again very slowly, pay attention to what I'm doing in my picking hand here. So anytime you play more than one note on a string, if you're about to move to a new string and you know there's going to be 2 notes there, you kind of have to do some work backwards on which direction you should start with on that string. Because the last note on that string you want to be going towards the next string. So let me do that one more time, and I'm going to make an attempt at saying out loud the picking direction I'm using for every single note. Sorry if I make any mistakes. I've never tried this before. So down, down, up, down, pull off, down, pull off, up, pull off, down, down, pull off, up, pull off, up, pull off, down, up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, up. I think I got them all. So you can take that little segment that I just did there, that last little minute, and you can apply it to your own playing and get all those picking directions flowing just nicely, and you'll end up with